Ever needed to run a quick background check, look into local history, or just see how the justice system actually works in your own backyard? Well, welcome to this explainer on open justice. Today, we're empowering you to exercise your right to access Sangamon County court records, completely for free. And hey, absolutely zero law degrees are required. We're going to break this down step by step so you can grab this info quickly, easily, and confidently.
So, why does this matter? Think about the everyday practical applications for a second. Maybe you're looking into a local property dispute, or you want to vet a general contractor before they tear up your kitchen. Or maybe you're even doing some deep dive genealogy on your family tree. Navigating the court system sounds super intimidating, right? You're probably picturing dusty filing cabinets and a maze of legal hurdles. But it really doesn't have to be like that. The truth is, these records are public property, and accessing them is literally your right.
To get you started, here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll look at the value of court records, using the online portal, the types of records you'll find, how to interpret them, troubleshooting and offline methods, and finally, the rules, fees, and limitations. All right, part 1, the value of court records.
So the courts actually have to strike a really careful balance here. On one hand, you've got public records. This is your civil disputes, criminal proceedings, and probate cases, and they're kept open to keep the whole system accountable. But on the flip side, we have sealed records. The court steps in to protect sensitive personal data by locking down adoption, juvenile, and mental health files. This way, the system stays transparent without putting vulnerable people at risk.
Moving right along to part 2, using the online portal.
This is where the magic happens, and it's incredibly simple. First, you just head over to the Sangamon County Circuit Clerk's online records lookup page. Second, you do have to click yes to accept their legal disclaimer. Third, pick how you want to search. You can use a person's name, the exact case number, or even just a filing date. And finally, step 4. When your results pop up, just click on the blue highlighted case number. Boom! That's the whole shebang. It's 100% free, and you don't even have to make an account or log in to do this.
Now, what if you need to look outside of Sangamon County? Say you want to search across all 102 counties in Illinois. Well, the state Supreme Court actually offers a platform called ResearchIL. It's a centralized, statewide document repository. It is a fantastic alternative if you need a much wider view of a person or a business's legal history across the whole state rather than just locally.
Let's jump into part 3, types of court records.
Once you're actually in the database, it helps to know what you're looking at. There are basically 4 main buckets here. Criminal cases cover state law violations, so everything from major felonies all the way down to a minor traffic ticket. Civil cases handle lawsuits, contracts, and property disputes, usually where money's on the line. Probate is all about managing estates, wills, and guardianships after someone passes away. And family court deals with sensitive domestic matters like divorce or child custody.
Now, this is absolutely crucial to remember. A Sangamon County search only shows local cases filed at that specific courthouse. If you're doing a real deep dive background check, like on a potential employee, for example, a simple county search just isn't going to cut it. For that, you'd actually need an Illinois State Police check, which pulls a full statewide criminal history across all jurisdictions.
All right, part 4, interpreting court records.
Finding the record is awesome, but you have to know how to translate that legal jargon. Depending on the case type, there are specific things you want to zero in on. If it's a criminal record, scan it for the original charges, any warrants, and the final sentencing. For civil cases, keep an eye out for financial damages, final court judgments, or settlements out of court. And if you're looking at probate, you're mostly hunting for the official will and how the estate was finally distributed.
Remember that blue case number we clicked on earlier? Clicking that takes you to something called the docket. What's a docket? Think of it as the chronological story of the lawsuit. It's the official timeline. It lists every single proceeding, hearing, and document filed in that specific case, starting from the day it opened right down to the day the judge slammed the gavel and closed it.
So what happens when the digital system fails us? Let's check out part 5, troubleshooting and offline methods. It happens to the best of us. You search, and the record you desperately need just isn't showing up. First off, don't panic. Routine system maintenance happens all the time. Also, older files, specifically cases from before 1982, might not be fully digitized yet. The county is actually still in the process of scanning a lot of those historical books. If the online portal is a dead end, you've got some great old-school offline options. You can head right down to the physical circuit clerk's office. It's on the 4th floor, room 405 of the downtown courthouse at 200 South 9th Street. They have public computer terminals you can use for free, or you can literally just ask the staff for help. You can also mail in a request or just give them a call directly at 217-753-6674.
Oh, and here is a massive pro tip that will save you a headache later. If you are looking for property ownership, land deeds, real estate plats, or tax info, you're in the wrong place. The circuit clerk doesn't handle any of that. For property records, you actually have to go to the Sangamon County Recorder's Office. They have a completely separate database and their own fee structure.
Almost done. Let's wrap up with Part 6, Rules, Fees, and Limitations.
So, browsing online or using the kiosks at the courthouse is 100% free. But if you need the clerk's staff to do the manual searching for you, there is a small cost. It's a mandated fee of $4 per year searched. And just a heads up, they do not accept personal checks for these searches. You'll need cash if you're there in person, or a money order if you're doing it by mail.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground today, and I really hope this helps you out. If you found this explainer useful, hit that like button. Subscribe for more guides on navigating public systems, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your research stories or answer any questions you might have. Sharing that kind of knowledge is what makes this whole community work.
One quick reminder before we go. While we absolutely want to empower your research, this explainer is strictly an informational guide. It is not professional legal counsel. Always consult a qualified attorney if you need specific legal guidance for your own unique situation.
I want to leave you with something to think about. For decades, this kind of info was locked away, and only people who knew how to navigate crazy bureaucracy could get to it. But now, that barrier is gone. You hold the keys. So who truly holds the power of information in your community? And more importantly, what hidden local histories or crucial facts are you going to uncover in the public record today? Happy searching!